Hello everybody, I am Jim O'Rear here as a guest interviewer for Macabre Mansion. We're at a MagicCon in Birmingham, Alabama. I've got Gil Gerard and Erin from a whole bunch of stuff. So we're going to do a quick interview for you.
Did you do that movie, A Whole Bunch of Stuff?
I didn't do that one.
Oh, that was one I did. A whole bunch of stuff.
Okay. Dropping lines about his own stuff.
Yes. You got to plug when you can.
I understand.
Okay, probably.
That's the way I feel about sex. You got to plug when you can. Go ahead.
Probably most recognized, I guess, probably from Buck Rogers. So we'll start with Buck Rogers.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let us know how you got involved with Buck Rogers and how that influenced your life.
I was doing porns.
Good.
And
this is one of them right here, right? This
was one. Yeah.
From the porn.
Yes.
This is Deep Space with Buck Rogers.
That was it. Yes.
So.
Deep Space 69.
Yeah. Good. Good.
Yes, it was one of my big hits, actually. Anyway.
Small hit.
You know, envy and jealousy are really ugly emotions. Sad. But anyway, how did I get involved with Buck Rogers?
Yes.
Well, they asked me to do it, and I said no. And they asked me again, and I said no again. And they asked me again, I said no, because I didn't want to do a cartoon character like Batman was and all that kind of stuff. So they finally prevailed upon my agent to read the script, and if he thought it was something that I might like to do, would he get me to at least read the script before I turned it down? So he read it and he called me up and he said, it's not what you think it is, you should read it. So I did, and I liked it. I liked the sense of humor and what was going on with him. And I knew that, I have a really good-looking co-star.
Exactly.
That I could sexually harass for the rest of her life. So I said, okay, I'll do it.
Yep.
So, and was that similar with you? Was it
being sexually harassed?
Yes.
Yes, that definitely happened.
She loved every minute.
Without the Deep Space 69.
Right. I was a contract player at Universal Studios. Had done my first 6-hour mini-series for the studio, and they called me the very last day of the shoot and asked me to come in to test for Buck Rogers. I knew nothing about the project. I hadn't read the script. I was tired. I wanted to go home. I just wanted to go to bed. But they insisted that I
took care of that last part.
Oh, good.
And so
that's a whole other interview.
I came to this set actually in a bad mood. I did not want to be there, and of course he, I think, was very challenged by this person who was having this very sort of sour, glum face, and so the more sad and tired I looked, the more he tried to cheer me up, and it was the perfect combination.
Nice.
Because we had all these other young starlets who were going, me, pick me, I can be Wilma. I'm going, get a life, buddy. Get out of here. And then he would not stop. I mean, it was just on and on and on. And then we ended up having a good time.
Now, from what I remember, if memory serves me, I believe they did the movie, right? But the TV series was not planned?
From my point of view, because we both have different stories, I was told that I was going to do a 10-hour mini-series. And so that when I got the job, I was going to do the first 2 hours of this 10-hour mini-series. Gil says that you always knew it was going to be a movie.
Well, basically when we were shooting it, I knew because I had heard the same thing, a 10-hour miniseries.
Oh, you had? Okay.
But then Frank Biascache, who was the DP, actually the cameraman, came to me and said, they're shooting this like a feature. It's not being shot as a TV. And he was only going by the aperture because it was shot at a 185 frame as opposed to a 175 frame. 175 frame was television, 185 was motion picture. So he said, I think they're going to go with this as a feature. And sure enough, that's what happened. And what they did was we shot what was supposed to be the first episode, the first 2 hours of the 10-hour miniseries. and they were short because they had allowed for commercial time and all that other stuff. And so we had to go back and do some added scenes,
In March.
which was the thing where you shoot me out in the Anarchia and
Right.
some of the
That's
other
right.
stuff. Yeah.
That's right.
And they added some stuff of me in the shuttle before I got found.
That's when I knew it was a feature film.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
Everything
we were doing added
changed.
scenes.
Really changed.
Yeah.
No, that's when I noticed the equipment was different and
Oh yeah.
the hours were different and life was much easier. And
Oh yeah. Nicer stuff.
Much nicer
Yeah.
all the way around. Yeah.
So that's when it became a feature.
And then all the other 2-hour movies that you see that were part of the Buck Rogers series, those were the original 10 hours.
So did that screw you in some way with your contract with all that feature TV?
Well, I was a
mix-up?
contract player, so I had no choice.
Whatever she did,
Whatever
where-
they wanted me to do, I had to do. I signed a contract to, work. So,
She was chattel.
yes, I was.
She was chattel.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, so real quick, because Silver Spoons was a big thing.
Right.
Tell us about your experience with Silver Spoons. How did you like it? What did it do for you?
I love Silver Spoons. For me, it was very different because on Buck Rogers, although I love the role on Buck Rogers, I love my character, working with Gil and all of that. I had a baby at home, so it was really hard for me to go to work every day with my baby. One of those things where you work hard for something and then you get it, and then you realize, ooh, the timing just really doesn't work right now. So that was hard because it was just a love-hate relationship. But Silver Spoons was, I didn't come to work until noon because Ricky was in school for the first part of the day. So I had a sort of a normal life, and I could take my kid to school, and I could go grocery shopping, and I could go and be an actress for a couple of hours, and then go to all the Little League games and football practices and all that sort of thing. And so for 5 years, it was a wonderful blend of working as an actress and being a mom and having a family. So for me, that was really special. And then also just learning how to do comedy and working in front of a live audience was great. It was really fun.
Do you do any live audience stuff?
I've done Broadway.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Broadway,
Nice.
real legit.
Nice. What did you do on Broadway?
Oh, a lot of stuff.
I love theater.
Do you?
I love theater. That's what.
Yeah. Billy Bigelow and Carousel, Curly in Oklahoma, Joey Most Happy Fella.
Classics.
Yeah, well, they weren't classics when I did it.
The classics to me.
They were brand new. No, I do.
You said you like theater better or films?
I like them both actually. The film is, theater is more immediately satisfying. Film is
Keeps on giving back.
is satisfying because they pay you a lot of money. And I always played to the crew. They were my audience. And so whenever I got a reaction from the crew to a scene that I was doing, it's like it was the same kind of energy that I used to feel with a live audience because they were a live audience. And my feeling was that they were probably the toughest audience because they've seen it all. They've seen over and over again. And if I could move them with a performance, then it was like, all right, it worked. And I loved the feeling. You literally feel the energy wash over you in a live performance. As I'm sure you felt with the sitcom did. And it carries you. That's why in New York particularly, because it's a theater town, no one goes to sleep until like 2 o'clock in the morning. You cannot possibly do a show and just go home and go to bed. You go out, you got to wind down for 2 or 3 hours just to get the adrenaline down, so you could sleep. So it's more immediately satisfying, but as I said, film is satisfying in a different way.
Well, to wrap it up here, besides more porn,
Yeah.
what's next for you?
Well, I'm trying to finish up the paperwork to negotiating the licensing and all that stuff for a 4-book deal writing novels of Buck Rogers.
Nice.
Which hopefully, knock wood, I should have the papers sometime next week. And I can get started with that, and then from that, there's a possibility of a Buck Rogers radio show coming out of that, a live radio show, and then also there'll be comic books coming out of that. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. A new action figures coming out of Buck Rogers. I'm starting a new website, which is It's the same as the old one at GilGerard.com, but it's a whole new structure.
There's going to be like a whole new
Well, it's just
resurgence.
Like, after 30 years, it's like
Rogers.
I'm finally able to do some of the stories that I wanted to do back when we were doing Buck Rogers.
Excellent.
And I'll be doing them as in a book form as opposed to a script form.
Cool. How about you? What's next for you?
For me, I have a company called Heroes for Hire, and I book talent and celebrities at personal appearances like this all over the world. So that's keeping me pretty busy right at the moment. Don't have anything that I'm work-wise that I know about as yet, but it's going after you just never know for one day. I do have a film, independent film, that they just released a new website called Dreams Awake, and hopefully that will get distributed.
And do you want to do more video game voices?
I would love to do video game voices. Love
More
to do
video
voices.
game voices.
Yes.
Hint, hint, hint.
Yes. I did the Spider Witch in the Ghostbusters video game, and that was really fun. I really enjoyed that.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I want to thank
So
y'all
what are
for
you doing
taking.
these days?
What am I doing? I just did a couple films for the Sci-Fi Channel. And I got another couple films for the Sci-Fi Channel coming up. Yeah, I just did Resurrection for Jeff Burr. I don't know if you know Jeff. We did Chainsaw 3 and Pumpkinhead and stuff like that. And Pumpkinhead.
Oh, Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead, yeah. And I got one called Monster Cruise that comes out in September. And I've got one we're shooting in July about the last gas-powered vehicle on Earth. So there you go.
Wow, very cool.
Another free plug.
Yeah, love it.
All right, well, I want to thank y'all for taking a few minutes.
Did you notice
and,
that we haven't gotten a call about any of those films?
You know, hey,
I don't understand. Did you get a call? You want to tell me about it? He sits here, boldly talking about all these things he's going to do. Two actors he supposedly likes and admires and fawns over all day. And, but when it comes down to spending a little money on them, like, hey, I got a part for you.
Yeah.
No, don't hear anything. Of course, the stuff he does is probably so schlocky. We wouldn't do it anyway.
You've seen it apparently. So, yeah. All right, thank y'all for
We'll
taking
make
a
it
few
out of the
minutes.
room alive.
Yeah, before we get in trouble.